Our class, the M class here, is titled Beyond Power Dome. So it's all about fins and hood scoops and that sort of thing. And really what it's about is the fact that the styling people would come up with a car that you could recognize as a fast car, a power car. And I can remember pulling up to a stoplight in the 60s, and you'd look over and say, that's not a Le Mans, that's a GTO, with the hood scoop and the whole thing. So that's really what the class is all about. We've got some really unique cars in the class today.
So is this your exhibit?
No, not exactly. We're here, we're planning it. You might have heard Brian, Jim McGrip, but 4-speed in my car this past.
This is my 66 Chevelle. It's a 396, 360 horse, 4-speed car. It was a radio delete car. It was a base vehicle. It's got 11,450 miles on it. It is a marina blue. It's got a bright blue interior. It's got a 373 Posi in it. The car was raced out of Dunn Chevrolet down in Ohio. The drivetrain was taken out of it, and then the original drivetrain was in the garage. And they, when they're done racing it, they pulled it out, put the original 396 360 horse vehicle motor back in it.
My name is Jim Hart, and this is my 1962 Kellison J5 drop nose coupe. It's the only one Kellison ever made. It was his transition vehicle between the J5 and the J6 model to meet the new DOT standards for that year. And the car is unbelievable on the racetrack. I've raced it in vintage, and it also raced out on the West Coast in Laguna Seca back in the 60s, 70s, and even into the 80s. The car has got a 327 engine in it, drivetrain, and is just very competitive on the racetrack and is also street legal. Car only weighs 1,840 pounds empty. It's just such a joy to drive.
My name's Jim Thomas, and this is my 1963 Plymouth Savoy. It's a max wedge cross ram. It's a 426 cubic inch engine, conservatively rated at 425 horsepower, but actually it's closer to about 500. I've had the car now since 2005 and put about 2,000 miles on it. We had the car built in California, and it was a 3-year project. That was interesting because it required us to take about 3 trips out to California to see how it was going and just check the specs and give approval to some of the changes and things that we wanted done on the car. But it's been quite a project. Taking 3 years, all the floors had to be re-stamped, the trunks had to be redone. And of course, I had to buy a second car, which is called a donor car, because the core car was missing a few parts, such as a right front fender, a hood, and a deck lid, a trunk. But we tried to make the car as close to what Chrysler sold back in 1963. I think at that time when horsepower was something that was becoming very, very popular, you wanted the lightest car with the biggest engine. So this car was ordered with a heater delete, radio delete, and then when it was delivered, we made it a day 2 car. And a day 2 car is after you get your original, you make 3 adjustments to it. Number 1, if it doesn't have a tachometer, you put a tachometer on it. And the other thing you do is give it some exhaust. So you put on some headers or mufflers and make a little bit of noise and give you a little bit of horsepower. And then the third thing is to make the tires in the back just a little bit wider. and then you go cruising, and then you're ready to hit the streets. But it's been a great project and a fun car.
Right. It's a 1957 Thunderbird. I've had it for 20 years, bought it in 1995. I've tried to keep it more like a resto mod, so the body and interior is pretty much stock, but the drivetrain is from a 70 Thunderbird. The motor, it's a 429, 400 horse. It's got an automatic overdrive transmission behind it. Cruise control, power steering, brakes, air conditioning, power door locks, power windows. It's loaded up and we travel a lot with it.
It's a 57 Golden Hawk. They made just over 4,000 of them. They're supercharged and were 275 horsepower, so that was really quite a lot in 1957. And the cars were really quick and are very much sought after today. There's not an awful lot of them left, but my wife and I have enjoyed this thoroughly. We sometimes feel like we live out on Woodward.
All right, welcome to Father's Day 2016. This, the 29th anniversary or 29th celebration of EyesOnDesign here at the Edsel and Eleanor Ford home in Gross Pointe Shores. A beautiful day. We're featuring here in this class Power Bubbles, and my car, 63 Studebaker Avanti, has one, as do of course the rest of the cars in this class. And I've owned this Studebaker Avanti since about September 2010. Drive it about 2,000 miles a year. Just recently had some transmission work done on it. And it's a maintained original car. As you can tell, the paint needs a little bit of polish. But I have a lot of fun with the car. At a lot of the events downstate. I live with my wife in Midland, Michigan. One of the many unique features of this car is the in the glove box power compact case, so that your lovely bride can put on her eye makeup, her lipstick liner, and make herself look pretty as you're going out to the movie or theater. This car was designed by Raymond Loewy, president of Studebaker Corporation. Put together a team of 5 people, sent them to the desert in California in summer of 1961, and within 4 weeks this car was gone from a cocktail napkin to a clay model. Took it back to South Bend, the design was approved, and in less than 12 months the first car was rolling off of the production line. I defy you to do that today.
Hi, so I'm Kevin Christensen, and this is my 2008 GT500 convertible. Bought it new in 2008. We've had this for going on 9 years now here this October. You can see it's not terribly stock, so it's been modified quite a bit with suspension, wheels, brakes. Did the hood to match the KR, the GT500 KR that came out later in 2008. Otherwise, it's very Shelby, so it's a lot of fun. My son has a lot of fun with us cleaning the car as well, so he's backing away from the camera. He doesn't want anything to do with it. But otherwise, this is a good event. This EyesOnDesign is a fantastic event and fantastic location, and look forward to being able to attend in the future. No, that they meant they've judged it. It's been judged. In case someone gets here late.
Hi, my name's Dave Miller, and this is a 1970 and a half Pontiac Trans Am. It's one of 1,749 Trans Am 4-speeds that Pontiac built. The 70 and a half year was unique in that it has wheels that do not have trim rings. They're 14-inch rims that are stretched to 15 inches, and they have the low back bucket seats, which they call the European buckets. So that was unique to the 1970 and a half car, and changed in 71. From the 70 and a half through 72, they had the single racing stripe down the middle, and the car either came in white or light blue, with the opposite striping colors. This car also has the deluxe interior, which has the square weave material and a bright blue. So that again is factory, and makes the 70 and a half unique, and makes this one a lot of fun. car drives like a modern car. It's one of the unique features of the Firebird series. They really did a suspension that was much different than the muscle cars of the age. So again, a lot of fun.
How are you, sir?
Father's Day, thank you. You want one of that? Oh, tell you what. Somebody Friday night, I don't know, not bad for a rookie. 2,200 RPM at 80 miles an hour. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's got 6-speed.
Same 6-speed as my van, but it's geared different.
Yeah, geared. Yeah, exactly.
And same weight, they're both 4,000-pound cars.
The first time I've been to EyesOnDesign, and it's a beautiful show, and I'm impressed by all of the different cars, the variety of vehicles. It's honestly an honor to have my car here at this show. This is a 1967 Corvette. It's a 427 390 convertible, and this has been restored. It's a beautiful restoration, but it even has original factory side pipes on it. This is 97% original, you know, the way it came off of the assembly line, and the car is fun to drive. It's nice to look at, but I have so much fun driving this car.
Great. Who restored it? You?
A great restorer.
Oh, who's that? I don't know the great restorer. Werner. Werner, you want to say something here about the car?
Political announcement here?
Yeah, play it.
Yeah, well, it's you know, Larry bought a beautiful car and brought it to us. We had the privilege of restoring it for him, and so we've had a lot of fun. Larry's had this car for a long time. You know, he just doesn't drive it quite enough.
About 10 years.
Yeah, boy, hard to believe.
Yeah, and but look at it. Looks like the day it was restored.
That's right. It hasn't gone downhill any.
You want to see something beautiful?
Gosh, it looks like a new.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, that is cool, ain't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
You know, this group here was designed to show under the power dome, so it's showing cars with large hood scoops, and that was the theme on this particular class. And you can see the iconic 67 big block hood, which is so often mimicked on every other muscle car known to man. It was original on this car.
And Junior Air Force ROTC and Farmington's Boy Scout Troop 179 is assembling to begin.
Well, here we are with Bob Kennedy's 68 GTO convertible. Bob's car is the 11th in our class today, and Bob is missing in action, but here is his beautiful car, and it is a very nicely equipped GTO. He's got the window sticker here on the side, and as I say, it's nicely equipped. Base car was $3,400. As delivered, this car was $5,300. This well-optioned GTO has air conditioning for $360, and the cornering lights were about a $35 option in the day. A very nice car.
For the